What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and today's topic is the Braga centre-back David Carmo, because Liverpool made a move for him in the January transfer window on deadline day, according to a Portuguese outlet and also according to reliable journalist Fabrizio Romano. Liverpool made a £21 million loan to buy offer for David Carmo, and there is a very big possibility that Liverpool will go in for him in the summer after we couldn't secure his services in the January transfer window. And also there is a good possibility that we will activate our option to buy Ozan Kabak. So in this video we will take a look at what David Carmo could bring to Liverpool, what kind of player he is so far, what his career is like, and also we will talk about the three players that Jamie Carragher thinks Liverpool need in the summer to go again next season and try to challenge for the Premier League title next season. So if you enjoy these transfer news videos, please leave a like and let me know where are you watching from, and also let me know which players do you think Liverpool need to sign in the summer to seriously challenge Man City and other teams for the Premier League title. So Fabrizio Romano hinted that Carmo was Liverpool's plan B if we couldn't complete a deal for Ozan Kabak. Thankfully Schalke managed to sign Mustafi on deadline day, so we could go ahead and get Ozan Kabak in a loan deal. Portuguese clubs had another 6 hours to broker deals after the German transfer window shot at 5 p.m. German time, and Liverpool already had Ben Davies in the bag by this time, and the move wasn't officially confirmed until just before the UK deadline. And this is what Fabrizio Romano said. That night of the deadline day, the last night of transfers, Liverpool were looking for another centre-back apart from Ben Davies. So before moving on to Kabak during the morning of the deadline day, they were trying to sign David Carmo from Braga. So they made an official bid during the night, and Braga turned it down because they wanted £26 million guaranteed, which is Carmo's release clause. And then Liverpool started negotiations with Ozan Kabak and Schalke, but it wasn't so easy a negotiation. It was complicated. During lunchtime he was having a medical to be ready, but the negotiations between the player went well obviously, but the two clubs had problems with the options and the obligation to buy, so the loan was not so sure. Liverpool and Schalke were negotiating. In this moment they also had a plan B. Liverpool were in contact again with Braga for David Carmo, and they made another bid. It was an important bid, the second one, the official one, and the president of Braga turned it down again. While Kabak was having a medical, they were trying with Carmo because they wanted two big options to be ready if some problems came up with Schalke. Schalke wanted the money guaranteed, and Liverpool said, we are going to pay you a loan fee, but we can't do obligation to buy, only option to buy. During the afternoon they solved the situation with Schalke and Liverpool signed Kabak. They are so happy with Kabak, but David Carmo was really close to joining Liverpool. He was a serious option, and I will say keep an eye on this guy. And one of the main reasons why Braga didn't want to sell him is that they are actually doing pretty well in the Portuguese league. I think they are very close to second place. They are actually ahead of Benfica, and they could qualify for Europe again. They could qualify for the Europa League. So they want David Carmo. They wanted probably David Carmo at Braga until the end of the season. That's why they wanted £26 million for him. If Liverpool were to pay his release clause, then Braga could do nothing to keep Carmo. So I think there is a good chance that Liverpool will go in for David Carmo if we decide to move in for another centre-back, because of course Joao Matip is very injury prone. Joe Gomez also has this tendency of getting long, really frustrating injuries. So Liverpool, probably they don't need like 5 centre-backs or 6 centre-backs next season, but as an insurance policy we could always go in for David Carmo and maybe sell Joao Matip if Matip can't really regain his fitness properly in the summer. You never know how these players recover after these really big injuries. So David Carmo is only 21 years old. He is from Aveiro, Portugal, and he is an absolute man mountain. 6'5" tall, that's 196 centimeters tall. And Carmo joined Braga's youth academy at the age of just 16, and he also played in the Braga reserve team. He he played 26 times. Carmo had his first call-up to the Braga first team in 2019, the May the 19th. So he doesn't have a lot of seasons in professional adult football because he's just 21 years old, but he's already making a name for himself. For example, on October 25th, 2020, so more than a year after making his professional debut, in a 1-0 local derby win at Victoria Guimarães, Carmo was sent off for a foul on Marcus Edwards. This prompted some sort of a brawl or fight which broke out, in which one more player from each team was also shown a red card. So he and his teammate Franz Sergio were suspended for 3 games, and also the opponent Jorge Fernandez was banned for 2. But that's the only discipline issue that Carmo had throughout his pretty short career so far. And last November, Carmo extended his contract for 2 more years until 2025. So if Liverpool want to buy Carmo in the summer, then we will have to pay his release clause, which is 30 million euros, that's 26 million pounds. So that's not an incredible, like, huge amount of money. And if Leipzig want like 50 million for Upamecano, something like that, that's his release clause, 48 or 50 million pounds. David Carmo could be a cheaper alternative who could become as good as Upamecano, and I mean Upamecano is also just 21 years old, so Liverpool could sign Kabak and Carmo in the summer and really basically guarantee themselves 2 centre-backs who can play for Liverpool for the next 10 years easily. And Jamie Carragher thinks that Liverpool are in just a bad run of form and they will bounce back next season, but he said that Jamie Carragher said Liverpool need to sign 3 players in the summer to really truly challenge for the Premier League title next season. He said initially when Jurgen Klopp came in, Liverpool were a team who were 6th or 7th in the Premier League. His first summer he brought in 3 players, Matip, Wijnaldum and Mane. Then that took them into the Champions League. Over the next 12 months he then brought in Salah, Virgil van Dijk in January and Alisson on the back of the 2018 Champions League final, and that Liverpool took on again to the Champions League win and the title. I think Liverpool are back at that stage where they need those 3 players to come in again to give them that lift, because basically the 2018 Champions League final team, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Salah, Mane and Firmino. So 8 players out of the starting 11 have played around 80 to 90% of the games since. Just Karius, Lovren and Milner are the 3 players who started the 2018 Champions League final. That was a lot of seasons ago actually, like 3 or 4 seasons ago, and still Liverpool haven't changed the majority of their team. So they need a refresh, Carragher is saying, and I fully agree with this. Carragher said, we are talking about intensity and Liverpool may be dropping off and looking a little bit jaded physically, and how similar this 2018 Champions League final team is to what Liverpool have today. That back 4, it stays still the same 2 fullbacks. Van Dijk, when he's fit, he plays. Dejan Lovren has moved on, but Matip would have played that final if he was fit. Joe Gomez was at the club already. The midfield 2 is still Wijnaldum and Henderson, first choice, and James Milner has played the last 4 or 5 games as well. That's the one area where Liverpool did bring someone in. It was Fabinho. So we are talking about 1 player coming in since 2018 Champions League final. But then you have got the front 3. It's still the same team that's been together for 3 years. When you look at the percentage of Premier League minutes played from August 2018, this is a team that have gone to the well for 3 years and produced unbelievable movements, trophies for Liverpool. And that's why I find it a little bit hard to be too critical of what I'm seeing at the minute. This is not an attitude thing. This is not a team who think we have won the league, we have made it. They just haven't stopped for 3 years. That's why I say they need a little bit of help. And Jamie Carragher picked out the 3 positions that Liverpool need to strengthen to kick on again and to go to the next level. Well, Jurgen doesn't rotate, that's what people say. Liverpool haven't got the quality of a squad and backup of other clubs, that's also what people say. But Liverpool wouldn't have won the trophies they have done over the last 2 or 3 years if Jurgen Klopp rotated the team all the time. I still think they will be back, but they need 3 new players. They need a centre-back, Maybe he's joined now in Ozan Kabak. They need someone to replace Wijnaldum, and they need someone in the front three. And I'm not talking about players on the bench. I'm talking about players to come into the team like Matip, Wijnaldum and Mane did, like Salah, Van Dijk and Alisson. That's what Liverpool needs. So a starting 11 player. And I think if we sign Ozan Kabak, maybe we have enough in the centre-back area. If both Matip and Van Dijk and also Joe Gomez can fully recover, you never know, but hopefully they can make a full recovery, then we will have 5 centre-backs, so that's more than enough, I think, for next season. And Gary Neville also said that Man City will be the Premier League champions because Liverpool look drained. You can't go every single year, particularly for 4 years, 100 miles an hour and get 95 or 98 or 97 points every season. It's inconceivable with these players, the same players a lot of the time out on the pitch. There is going to be a dip at some point, and we are seeing that dip right now, which is compounded, of course, by injuries and all kinds of other issues for Liverpool as well. And Bobby Firmino also explained that Liverpool not having the Anfield crowd behind them has made a huge difference, especially for the Liverpool team, which has always been very, I don't want to say dependent on the fans, but it made a lot of difference. Having the fans at Anfield supporting us players, it made a lot of difference. That's what Firmino is saying. He continued, playing with the fans, the feeling is incredible. The adrenaline, the atmosphere they give us, they are certainly like one more player on the pitch. But we can't make excuses for that. We already adapted, we are used to it. Anyway, of course, we pray for that fans will come back as soon as possible. We believe it will soon pass, and fans will return to the stadiums to encourage us and help us on the pitch. And you also have to take it into account that the Liverpool players must be absolutely gutted that they couldn't properly celebrate their first Premier League title, their first league title in 30 years, and they won it in an empty stadium, and they started the new season in an empty stadium. And yes, there were a few games where there were like 2,000 fans in the stadium, but that's nothing compared to a packed 54,000 people stadium at Anfield. And the players just couldn't properly celebrate with the fans their first league title in 3 decades. That must have taken a toll on the players mentally as well. There is a very, very good possibility that Ozan Kabak will make his full Liverpool debut against Leicester, because many pundits and journalists are predicting that Ozan Kabak will start in the Liverpool defense alongside Fabinho, Trent and Andy Robertson, and hopefully Jordan Henderson will be put back into midfield, so there will be a midfield of Henderson, Wijnaldum and Thiago, and Salah, Mane, Firmino should be the usual front line. But hopefully Jota can be on the bench as well, because Jota will train this week. Hopefully he will have enough time to train properly and to get back up to speed, and then hopefully he will be fit to sit on the bench at least. So there is a section of the Liverpool fans that say FSG haven't properly backed Jurgen Klopp. Half agree with that, because yes, after we won the Champions League, probably that was the best moment for Liverpool to really strengthen the team. We just signed Adrian, and at that moment there wasn't a pandemic. We signed Sepp van den Berg, Harvey Elliott and Adrian, and basically Van den Berg and Elliott were for the Liverpool reserve or youth teams, and we just signed Adrian, nobody else. We didn't spend anything, and that is I think one thing that the Liverpool fans are right about. But then we signed Minamino in January, and then during the pandemic we signed Thiago, Diogo Jota, Kostas Tsimikas. That's a pretty good transfer window. That's like £70 million spent on 3 players that Liverpool needed. A world-class midfielder who won a treble with Bayern, a world-class forward like Jota, which Liverpool desperately needed. It's a shame he has been out injured for like 2 months now. And Kostas Tsimikas, a very good left back, a much-needed backup for Andy Robertson. And then we signed Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies in the January transfer window. So I think the owners, since the pandemic began, actually did what they could with the finances that was available for Liverpool. I think Liverpool need the pandemic to end as soon as possible. They need Liverpool fans to return to the stadium as soon as possible, so they know that our future financially is secure, and then we can go again and spend big in the summer. I really hope that the Liverpool owners held back some funds in this January transfer window so we can go big in the summer. I think we have to. I think Jamie Carragher is right. Liverpool need at least 2 or 3 starting 11 players, or at least very, very good squad players. I would sign somebody like Erling Haaland. I think he would be an absolutely terrific signing for Liverpool. And also I would sign a better backup right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Neco Williams, it looks like Jurgen Klopp doesn't fully trust him and he doesn't fully like rotate Trent. Sometimes Trent looked a little bit laggy, a little bit fatigued. It's understandable. He basically has to play almost every game. He's playing two or 3 games every week. So I think we need somebody like a Tsimikas quality of a player, just the right back. I know that Neco Williams is a big talent, but is he ready for Premier League football regularly yet? I'm not so sure. There is an update on Harvey Elliott. Liverpool failed to agree with Fulham a transfer fee for a compensation fee, for Harvey Elliott. So on a Tuesday, today, the tribunal will decide what kind of fee Liverpool will have to pay to Fulham. It happened with Dominic Solanke as well. Liverpool offered a small amount, Fulham want 10 million for Harvey Elliott. Liverpool offered like $750,000, so 750k, and probably the tribunal fee will be around £6 million, something like that. But that's still a bargain for Harvey Elliott in my opinion. And Gini Wijnaldum also said that Liverpool players are disappointed, but we won't give up. We will fight until the very end. We know it's difficult this season, the situations we have to deal with, but we will not give up. We will continue what we are doing, and we will try to win all the games. When you play football, you always know everyone can make a mistake. If you look at the whole season, I don't know how many players made a mistake. If you look at the other side, Alisson saved us so much. It will always happen that the goalkeeper makes a mistake. You just try to fix it in the game. We were more disappointed that we couldn't change it around for him, because if you look at since he was here, how many times he saved us, he won trophies for us. It's difficult that we couldn't change it around for him. I think 2 mistakes in a row was just too much. Liverpool could never recover from that. But hopefully we will draw a line and go again and beat Leicester City, and really we need to hit a run of wins, otherwise even our top 4 place will be in danger. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later guys. Goodbye.